Hi everybody, my name is Jo and I love to read. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing the Reader Problems tag. This tag I first saw on Rosie Cockshutt's channel, but she did do her video back in August 2021, so it's a long time ago, but I'll leave a link down below to her channel for you guys to check it out as well. As usual with these kinds of things, I'm going to be looking down at the questions on my laptop because I'm filming on my phone. Question 1, you have 20,000 books on your TBR. How in the world do you decide what to read next? Oh, that's really funny considering that I am not someone to have a big TBR, not anymore. I would probably just mood read. I would look at, try not to freak out, maybe do a big unhaul, but in terms of trying to decide what to read next, I would just look at them and the first thing that really grabbed me, I would pick it. I'm a big mood reader. Question 2, you're halfway through a book and you're just not loving it. Do you quit or are you committed? Depends. I tend to give a book one more reading session in the morning. Sometimes I do recognise that I get over books, which is just over reading, in the evening, and so I will give myself one more morning session to see if I'm enjoying it. Generally by that point, if I'm still not, I give it up. I will not commit to any book that I'm not enjoying. There is no reason that I feel for me to keep slugging for a book that I'm not enjoying, so I have no problem once I get that gut feeling to DNF it. I will definitely do just that and put it down and away, and normally unhaul it and get it out of my sight or return it to whoever or wherever I got it from. Question 3. The end of the year is coming and you're so close but so far away on your Goodreads or Storygraph reading challenge or any reading challenge. Do you try to catch up and how? Depends what they mean by so close and so far away. I won't, if I'm that far away, I won't catch up to the point that I am hating reading and I'm just getting that goal. Reading I still want to be fun for me, and it's something that even though I love it and I do it every day and I'm really passionate about it, I can't force myself to do it for hours upon hours upon hours. So if I needed to like marathon 5 books, or if I needed to be reading nearly every hour of every day in the last couple of days of the year to get it done, I won't do that. No way. But I will pick up a graphic novel or a comic or a picture book or a small book and read that through and get that done. If it's like a numbers goal, I will sort of cheat. It's not cheating, sorry, buying into that habit, but I will kind of like pick stuff that is going to help me on my goal, but I won't do it to the point that I'm hating it. Question 4, the covers of a series you love do not match. How do you cope? How does one cope with that? I don't know. That's something that I'm trying to be less picky about, as I'm trying to work out how many books I want to maintain on my TBR versus how quickly they can come in when I'm wanting to buy them. I'm trying not to be precious about it, but also at the same thing, I sort of think I can if I want to. If I'd like to book collect and want to have things that are all matchies, then why not? Why can't I do that? But it does annoy me when publishers change it midway through the series, and especially such a big change. It's like, commit and then make a change as like a whole thing, or at least make it tie in somehow somewhere so that the books look nice together if you've got the original ones and you then have to buy the new ones halfway through. At least make them tie in somehow. Question 5. Everyone and their mother loves a book you really don't like. Who do you bond with over shared feelings? Probably someone's review. Probably on Goodreads, because it's still the website that I'm joined up to that has the most reviews on it. I will maybe sometimes go and find a negative review on BookTube, but a lot of the time you can't really tell that it's going to be negative based on someone's video title, so I will go and filter like the Goodreads reviews, find the ones that are like 2 or 1 stars, and just go read them till my heart's content. Question 6. You're reading a book and you're about to start crying in public. How do you deal? Probably still just cry. Depends where I am. But I often have to, I don't know, I've been actually pretty lucky that I don't often cry in books, and the times that I have recently I've been at home, even though I do still read at lunch. So I think I'd probably just deal with it, probably laugh. Maybe I wouldn't feel it as intensely, feel the emotion as intensely, because I'm very aware that I'm in public. Maybe I'll find a way to kind of shut off and not cry. But I'd probably just explain to people and get some laughs, make their day for thinking this chick's so into books that she's crying over them. Question 7. A sequel of a book you loved just came out, but you've forgotten a lot from the prior novel. Will you reread the book? Skip the sequel. Try to find a synopsis on Goodreads? Cry in frustration. Definitely not cry in frustration. I'm someone who, at this time in my life, and so far it's been pretty true, I seem to have a very good memory, or it doesn't bother me if I'm missing a few what I would call smaller details. I don't mind jumping into like the next book in the series and feeling like I've got to kind of fumble around a little bit to get where I'm up to, because to me it doesn't feel like fumbling. Like, I don't feel like I'm in the dark and I've just kicked my foot on the chair, I'm swearing. I just kind of feel I know where I'm going. I can kind of remember things. I'm going slow. You know, if I gently bump into something, it's okay. It doesn't really worry me. I do sometimes try and find a synopsis on the internet. I've never found a synopsis on Goodreads. Do people do that in their reviews? I'm too scared of actually getting spoilers that I don't go and look at reviews before I finish a book. But I will try, and for the previous one, I'll try and find a Wikipedia one, which generally only happens when books are like super popular. So it doesn't often work. I just go in and deal with it. I read too, quote unquote, slowly. Whatever. But for me, the amount of books that I read per year, if I was to reread the previous book before I read the next book, I wouldn't get anywhere anytime soon. So I just jump in and deal, and it doesn't bother me. Question 8. You do not want anyone borrowing your books. How do you politely tell people no when they ask? I can't answer this one the way that it wants me to. Tanya would get me really would get frustrated at me over this, because sometimes like he'll ask me questions like in you know, just like a question gamey kind of way, and I'll be like, no, but that I would never do that. That would never happen, or whatever. And he's like, just answer the question. But I'm gonna be frustrating again with this. I'm not someone that will tell you that I don't want you to borrow a book. The only thing that I might hesitate for is if the book's, well, that I would hesitate for is if the book is not mine. But then I would be like, oh, do you want me to ask so-and-so? Because often the people that I borrow books off, which is few and far between, they wouldn't care either. So I'm sorry, it wouldn't happen. I guess, like, theoretically, which I suppose is the whole point of the question, I would just pretend that I'd already loaned it to someone else beforehand or something like that. Question 9. Reading ADD. You picked up and put down 5 books in the last month. How do you get over your reading slump? I would pick something that is probably short. Maybe that I think is going to be a sure thing. Maybe like a Harry Potter book, because I've been able to reread them in the past. And I would just make myself finish it. Hence the short. I would just sit down. Probably a reread is probably what I would do. I would sit and force myself to finish it. I'd pick a small one and just get it done, because generally then it depends. Why am I in a reading slump? Why have I picked up and put down 5 books? Is there something going on in my life that I need to address? I'm not an escape reader. If shit's really going down in my life, I gotta process it in my own head before I can read reader. Otherwise, I'm looking at the page and it's not going in, and I'm just thinking about what's going on. So then I'll journal for a bit and it'll be okay. So I don't know, am I answering this properly? Not really sure. It depends why I'm in a slump. Like, am I just picking shit books? Am I feeling like I've had to pick these books because someone's given them to me? I don't know. Why? I need more information, because picking up and putting down 5 books just doesn't kind of compute with me, because if the book is boring me, then I'll start another one. But like the unlucky fact of having like 5 books in a row that I'm not enjoying, that's just not going to happen generally. Are we going to be that unlucky 5 times? I don't think so. Question 10. There are so many new books coming out that you're dying to read. How many do you actually buy? So I don't know what order I'm going to be putting videos out in, but check out, if I put it out before this, I'll leave a link up above or below. If not, then subscribe so that you guys see it in the future if you care about getting an expansion to this question. But I'm going to be doing a video that is 6 months on from achieving a 0 TBR and how I'm going, which is very tied to book buying, obviously being the to be read pile. Well, it could be related to book borrowing, but intaking books, basically. With this particular question, how many do you actually buy? Only if I'm, at the moment, what I'm working with is if I am not going to read it that afternoon, I don't buy it. I think we'll just leave it there. Watch the video, either linked below or subscribe, and I will upload it soon. Question 11. After you've bought the new books you can't wait to get to, how long do they sit on your shelf before you get to them? No, I'm not answering this either. Old Joe, I had a TBR of like 167 books. New Joe, I still have a little bit of a TBR up there, so it's taking me a little bit. It just depends on how many books I've got already, how excited I am about it. If it's something that I've bought to pick up next, then straight away. If I let the excitement die, then it could be longer. And that is it for the Reader's Problem tag. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for sticking around and hanging out with me today. If you liked this video, please give it a like. If you have some comments or thoughts about this, please comment. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm not going to tag anyone because I don't know. Tagging people seems like pressure. I think we've kind of almost, have we moved on from tags? I don't know. I still get delighted when I'm tagged in things. I just don't know what people have done and what they haven't. So I don't want to, but if you like these questions, then do it and let me know. Alright, see you next time. Bye!